Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the projects that I made in January of 2024. I have a really awesome stack of layouts here to share with you guys, and I also have a stack of cards that I made. I'm going to put the timestamps below showing you where the layouts are and where the cards are. That way you can focus on the content that you're really interested in. So let's get started. January 2024 was a really great month for me creatively. I think I'm going to leave the layouts here and we'll just take a look. I'm going to start off with my design team projects, and then I'm going to get into a bunch of layouts that I made at a crop that I had just last weekend. So to start off, this is a project that I made for my little scrapbook store. This is for their 52 layout challenge for 2024. One of the prompts in January was a sketch prompt. So I made this layout about my son and his dog stuffies using Vicki Boutin Discover and Create collection. And then I added a little Scrap and Happy Studio canvas flare down here. If you want to find the challenges and our Facebook group, I will put the links below. We are a very active Facebook group. We are a great community, and I would love to have you come and join us there. This is another design team layout that I did for my little scrapbook store. This is for my Scotland album on the Isle of Skye, and I used 49 and Market Moonlit Garden for this one. I did tons and tons of layering, and I added in some of these hemp twine bundles just to give a little added texture. This is another layout that I did for the 52 layout project. The prompt for this one was to scrapbook a photo about yourself and include journaling. So this was done on a design team Zoom. If you're interested in what that is, come check us out in the group. Once a month, members of the design team will Zoom together and we will focus on a prompt or a challenge for that month. And that way you can see multiple projects being created at one time and join in the chat with us. It's a lot of fun. I used this. This is 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet. I stamped these butterflies with Craft Consortium stamp set and Distress Oxide ink. This is a pink fresh stencil, and these are old Heidi Swap alphas that I colored with Lost Shadow Distress ink. This is Lost Shadow Distress ink. And then these are Simple Stories foam alphas down here at the bottom. Next up, I worked on year in review pages for my son. I do year in review albums for both boys, and I do a monthly spread for those. But I have a lot of catching up to do. So this is 2015, and my son was born at the very end of October, so I didn't include October in his album, and I just kicked it off with November. So this is the opening page with a bunch of his newborn photo shoot photos. And I apologize for the glare, but I don't want to take these out of the pocket pages to show you. Then I have the November spread here. So this is all using Becky Higgins Baby Boy Project Life Core Kit. Here, these are some Fitzgerald thickers, and then I stamped the month. There's some chipboard that's also from Project Life, as well as some Studio Calico chipboard and some label stickers that are from Freckled Fawn. This is the other half of the November page. I punched out some stars out of some scraps. This is a Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flare. So that's it, just kept it simple. Here's my December layout. So once again, I used the Fitzgerald thickers. I stamped the month. These are some Ellie Studio puffy stars. I did some punching over here just to fill in this card. And a little bit of journaling. And then I just closed out 2015 since there were only 2 spreads for that year with the cards that come in the core kit that are for the end of the album. And then I just added in, this is a 2015 wood veneer that I had in my stash, and it fits perfectly in the 3x4 pocket. So now I'm getting to the layouts that I made at the crop. This whole stack are all for my Scotland album. So I started off with working on pages from Stirling Castle. So this layout is for this, the Stirling heads that are in the castle. And I used Cartabella Old World Travel Collection for this. Just some distressing. These are some old October Afternoon alphas, some enamel dots, and some layered stickers on this. This is, these are photos of the Royal Palace, so I just made sort of a grid layout. These tickets came from one of the pattern papers in the collection, and I just fussy cut them out as small journaling spots. This is Vicky Bouton's Let's Wander collection, and I did a joke here because we had to try Iron Brew, which is a very popular soda over there when we went, and I really did not like it, and I should have known because I don't like that orange creamsicle flavor. I know people think I'm crazy for it, but I don't like that flavor, so I titled this Yuck. And then these enamel geotags with the little hearts inside of them, those are from Freckled Fawn. All right, so this is a 2-page spread that I made here. I'm not sure if I'm getting all of this in frame, but I'll show you each page together. So this is the Photo Play Willow Creek Highlands Willow Creek. I'm not sure the order of the words there for that. Collection, and I just kept this very simple. I just used pattern paper background and a few of the stickers, and then some jelly bean soup adhesive sequins to add a little bit of sparkle. Then for certain layouts, I added, for certain photos, excuse me, I added in these label stickers that are from Freckled Fawn, and then I added my journaling down here with a brown marker. So I just kept that simple because I really wanted that to be focused on the photos. This page is sort of a introductory page to our time in Inverness. So I just have 2 photos of the Ness River here. There's the castle, there's the church. This is an old Photo Play travel collection and some gold splatter on there. I used the same collection for a pocket page for just some sites around the town. So we have the castle here. I'm trying to show this to you without the glare. Here's the footbridge. These were some ground squirrels that we saw. Leakey's, let's see, Leakey's bookshop, and another shot of the castle. Flip it over, we have more, another pocket page spread of Inverness. So we have our hotel where we stayed. This is where we went for dinner one night. Some journaling, and then our rental car and a photo of my husband driving on the opposite side of the car. We next went to Culloden, which is a battlefield and a historical monument in Scotland. So I have a panoramic photo here. I used Vicky Bouton's Fernwood collection for this. I added some gold splatter. This is an old cork alpha. I think I got it from Studio Calico. And then here, if you pull on this, you can pull up, and there's my entry ticket for the visitor center. So that's sort of my opening page for our visit to Culloden. This is another 2-page spread with lots of photos of our tour of the battlefield. So I'll show these to you one at a time. I just put 2 4x6 photos on here. I did a little bit of journaling here on the brown wood grain, and then I included some butterflies that were fussy cut out of one of the papers from this collection, and some mushrooms. So I kept once again kept the embellishing pretty minimal on this. All right, these are photos of the clan memorials. So they have all of these stones across the battlefield that have the names of the different clans on there. So I just took this paper that already had this big floral cluster, and then I did a grid around it with these photos. I added gold splatter and just a little bit. These flare actually are paper clips, but I popped the paper clips off. Now they're a little bit chunky. I'm not sure if the camera is picking that up. So hopefully they won't be too bulky in my album, but we'll see once I get them put in the page protector. This is about Leonock Cottage, which is this little house that is on the battlefield, that had served as a field hospital actually for the British forces or the English forces during the battle. So this is a sketch that's from Scrap-a-Sketch, and if you go and check out their Facebook group, which I'll link below, they have a free sketch every Friday. So this sketch was fun because I used little triangles of pattern paper here to kind of draw your eye into the photos. Some more gold splatter, some moths. This is using the Photoplay Willow Creek Highlands collection again, and this is focusing on some of the Highland cattle that we saw right outside of the battlefield, and they're just absolutely adorable. So this is all from that collection with the exception of the wood veneer, which was just from my stash. This is a Doodlebug Alpha, and then this is a really old crepe paper label that I just added in. Next up was our trip out to Clavacairns. This is using Moonlit Garden from 49 and Market. So I just made some very simple pocket cards using the 6x8 pad from that collection to document our trip out here, which just has a lot of photos. This is a piece of the 6x8 paper with one of the laser cut elements glued on top, and then I just trimmed it off. This is some die cut ephemera, and then some of the laser cuts that I glued on and popped up with some foam. This is my Outlander layout that I had to do. I couldn't resist when we were there. My husband was a very good sport. So this is Vicky Booten's, this is Vicky Booten Fernwood. I painted some of the butterflies with some gold shimmer. I did some gold splatter. This paper is all hexagons, and so I cut part of it out, and then I have the green background. And so it's a picture of me touching the standing stones. And then when you flip this up, you have my journaling here, and then my husband saying basically he wonders where I went. So I thought that was a fun layout to make with the flip. Now we move on to Sky, and so one of my design team layouts. Oops. Go through this big old stack here. So this will be the first page for Sky, so that'll basically introduce that we're going to the Isle of Skye here, and then all of these are the sites that we saw on Skye. So of course Skye has tons of sheep roaming about on the island, so I had to take some pictures of the sheep. This is all the rest of the layouts will be using 49 and Market Moonlit Garden. So I just 49 and Market does all of the work for you, basically. Their background papers are fantastic. So I just added some embellishments in my photos. I have some, it might be hard to see on film, but I have some journaling done in a silver pen here. This is the Culin Mountains, and this is one of my go-to designs where I stack 3 4x6 photos on top of each other on the side of the page, and then I usually do a cluster with my title and embellishments here. There's no journaling on this because it's really just pictures of the mountains. But what I did do is I used, now this is the gold, but the silver I believe is packed away somewhere in my crop stuff. But this is the Stickles glitter gel. This stuff is amazing. So I used, I think it's called Moonlight or something like that. It's like just an iridescent glitter gel. And I used a paintbrush and I just painted it on some of the butterflies and in the centers of the flowers. And with the layouts moving forward, you'll see how I repeated that design element on the other pages. These patterns here are all rub-ons. Here's photos of the Kerrang and the old man in the store. So once again, I have some rub-ons, some acetate film strips. Here's my journaling under both photos with the silver pen, and some chipboard and ephemera. These black stars, I just added in to give a little pop of black to balance this black here. And these are from Freckled Fawn. Here's Kilt Rock. I love this page. I love this page. So I basically just framed it out with this ephemera frame. I added in some crochet thread here. Once again, there's the glitter gel all over the butterflies. Just really, really pretty. Now here's Fairy Glen. What I did here, so this is a piece of the pattern paper. This is one of the, I believe they're called like the solids or the foundations, or so it's just a very subtle blue pattern paper. What I did is I took the butterfly 6x8 rub-ons and I did all of these. These are all of these butterflies here are rub-ons. I added in the Stickles gel onto 3 of them for some interest. And what's cool is that you can do the rub-ons so that they go off the paper. So they kind of, even though this looks sort of like a pattern paper, they're going off the paper. So it just gives it a nice element. Layered up my photos here, added in some ephemera bits and some enamel dots, or they call them wishing bubbles, and that's it. Oh, and this silver alpha is from Pink Fresh Studio. I believe it was with last year's spring collection. Goes absolutely amazing with this collection. And here is my last layout. This is of the Little Village of Portree. I kept it monochromatic, so it's all grays and black and white. And I wanted to do that because I really wanted this, these colorful houses to pop. I really want you to, like, when you see this layout, just look at the beautiful colored houses. And one of our designers on the My Little Scrapbook store design team had recently done a layout. Her name is Tisa, and she had recently done a layout with some of these larger acetate film strips where she had them kind of at an angle. So I took inspiration from her design and I layered up 2 of the larger film strips over here at an angle, just to kind of have, you know, a little bit of balance here on the side. This is a rub-on here, and then these are some chipboard stars from Freckled Fawn that I then used some Wink of Stella on to give them a little bit of glitter. So that's it for my layouts. Now let's move on to the cards. All right, so now I'm going to be sharing with you all of the cards I made this month. So I made this card. It's a white card base and then a piece of white cardstock that has been embossed with a Stampin' Up! Embossing folder. It's a really old embossing folder, but it's really great. I love it. I'll probably never get rid of it. This is a Spellbinders die set. I think it's called Bold Blossoms. So I die cut all of these flowers with Stampin' Up! Cardstock, and I added in a bunch of rhinestones to give it some glitter. This friend die is from 49, no, not 49 and Market, Concord and 9th. I cut it out with some silver glitter paper and backed it on the same brown that I used for these branches. And then I lost the dot on top of the eye, so I just added in a rhinestone there to dot the eye on friend. And then inside it just says "You are the best," and that stamp is from Concord and 9th as well. Next, I have several cards that I made. Let me get them laid out here for you. So this is using the Spellbinders December 2023 Small Die of the Month Club. And it's such a cute die to make a card front. So it's this little couple and they're smooching or hugging or whatever you want to say they're doing under the umbrella. So really, your focal element is done for you. You just have to die cut it and put it together. And what I did was I ended up just getting creative with how I made the backgrounds. So I'll show you each one up close. So this one is like a watermelon-y color with some aqua and gray. And I die cut this little piece out with a Concord and 9th die. I added some Stickles gel to these hearts. And then these little white enamel hearts are from Stampin' Up! Here's the inside. All of the stamped sentiments from these cards are from the December 2023 Spellbinders Stamp and Die of the Month kit. This one I made a background with, it's white with embossed hearts. I used that embossing folder. Some of the hearts I colored in with some Stickles glitter. And then these are from these long die cuts. So this heart is the center of this, and then I just trimmed these long ends off of this to make the hollow hearts. And then once again, that's from that die set, and then this is the die cut Love You. Here's another one, and I use these long, the full length of these, and here's the interior. This one I added some interest by putting this sort of on an angle. So this one I used an embossing folder to emboss this background, and then I took a blending brush with some pink ink and just blended over top to give this a little bit of interest. I added 3 of these little hearts here, and then I put a little bit of sparkle on her shoes, and I put the die cuts on the inside for the sentiment. And this is the last one I made. I added in some silver shiny sequins to embellish this, and there's the interior. All right, so the next cards that I have are these foiled cards. So I made these from a Crop and Create, or Scrapbooking Cards Today Crop and Create delivered class that was offered. I'm very behind on all of my classes for them, so I'm trying to catch up. That's one of my goals for 2024, is to catch up on all of these kits that I have from classes. So this was using ThermoWeb had this product. I don't know if they still make it or not, but they were basically like adhesive sentiments and images that you could run through your die cutting machine, and that would leave this sticky on the card, and then you would go ahead and you would put foil over top, run it back through your die cutting machine, and you would have a foiled sentiment. Now, I didn't do a great job with the foiling. I think it's just something that you need to practice, but I love the way the ink blending came out. So this is a Vicky Boutin stencil. I think it's from the Color Study collection, but don't quote me on that. And then I used some Stampin' Up! Inks to make this like rainbow gradient across the card front. I did the foiling. On this one, I added in some purple enamel dots, and I foiled my envelope. On this one, I cut the panel down, and then I popped it up on some foam to give it a little more of a polished look, and I added some gold sequins. So that was one class I took, or caught up on. Another class that I caught up on was also from the Crop and Create delivered, and that was the little Crafters Consortium like make and take class that they had. So you got, and I mean, for a make and take class, it was so awesome because you got, basically you got 2 stamp sets and a die that cut out the thanks. So the thanks has been stamped and die cut, and then I fussy cut out these butterflies, and this is I forget who taught the class. It might have been Mari Clark taught the class. I added some stickles onto the flowers just to make them a little bit sparkly, and it's like this cute little easel card. How cute is that? So I made 2 of them, and then while I had that stamp set out, I played a little bit more. So I made this thank you card using that thanks stamp and die, but I heat embossed the thanks in white on navy cardstock. I also matted my background with navy cardstock, and then I took this flower image and I stamped it with Concord and 9th Nectar, and then Concord and 9th Midnight ink, and then I added some of these gems just to make it sparkle. So there's that card. And then the last card I made with that set was this card. So what I did was first I embossed the butterfly 3 times with gold embossing powder. It's kind of a matte gold. And then I did ink blending over the embossed butterflies. So these are Concord and 9th inks. So I have pink lemonade, dragon fruit, juniper, and tide pool. Didn't blend too great right here, but these colors blended beautifully together. Then I just wiped off any ink that was on the butterflies. I added in a black frame and some black enamel dots just to give it that pop. I gold heat embossed this sentiment, which is a Stampin' Up! Stamp, on a little scrap of black, and I added some gold twine bundled behind it. And then the last card I made for the month of January is this Hey Friend card. This is a this is a die from Close to My Heart, and it cuts out this whole card front, and it leaves this center part empty for embellishments or stamping. And I bought the coordinating stamp set, so I die cut this out. This is pink pirouette cardstock on soft seafoam. These are just some clear drops that I had that I glued, and then I stamped the inside with this stamp that also, these are from the same stamp set. So that's it for my January projects. I'm so happy that you have come to watch my video today. If you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also hit the bell notification so you're notified of when I add new content to my channel. I hope that you had a crafty January and that you're going to have a really productive and crafty February. Thank you for joining me. Bye.